who went daily to the mountains and fields to cut bamboo, and put it to many uses. His name was Miyatsuko of Sanuki. One day he found a bamboo tree, with light shining from its roots. When he went closer and peered into the trunk, he saw a tiny person only 3 inches high, sitting inside, looking very charming. The old man said, "Since I work with bamboo every day and night, I am certain you were meant to be my child." Then he took the child in his hand and carried it home, where he gave it to his wife to raise. And it was an amazingly beautiful child. After this old bamboo cutter found the child, he often discovered gold between the joints of the bamboo trees that he cut down. So little by little, he became very rich. As they fed the child, it grew very quickly. It grew so fast that in only 3 months' time, it had grown as tall as an adult. In all the world, there had never before been a child of such pure beauty. And there were no longer any dark corners in the house, for she filled it with brilliant light. Whenever the old man fell ill, he would only have to look at the child, and he would no longer feel any pain. And when he got angry, a look at her would make him feel happy again. Since the girl had grown to adulthood, the old man had Akita Imube of Mimurodo come to give her a name. And Imube called her Princess Kaguya, the shining princess of the supple bamboo. All the world's young men, both high and low, made up their minds to do everything in their power to win Princess Kaguya as their bride, even from simply hearing rumors about her. They would flock to the hedge and the gate of the old man's house and stay there all night long, making holes in the hedge in the hope of getting a glimpse of the princess, in spite of the fact that even her family hardly ever got a chance to see her. The Celestial Feather Robe. Thus the emperor and the princess comforted each other for more than 3 years. Then one year, at the beginning of spring, Princess Kaguya found herself unusually fascinated by the loveliness of the moon. The moon on the night of July 15th seemed to cause her to go into an even deeper reverie than before. And when the moon came out on August 15th, she began weeping piteously. Her tears were so copious and her sorrow so deep that no one could comfort her. When her parents saw this, they were thrown into confusion and questioned her about the cause of her sorrow. Princess Kaguya continued to weep as she answered them, saying, "Many times before I have wanted to tell you, but I was afraid that you would be too deeply moved, so I have remained silent until today. But now I have determined that I must tell you that I am not of this world, but that I come from the capital of the moon. But I came to this world because of my karma from a previous life, and now the time has come for me to return to my home. This month, on the night of the 15th, people will come from my homeland in the sky to take me back with them. So I have been saddened since the beginning of this spring that I will be forced to leave you." Weeping violently at what he had just heard, the old man said, "Oh, what is this you tell me? I found you inside a bamboo tree when you were no larger than a grass seed, and I have raised you as my own daughter until now you have grown taller than me. And now you tell me that someone is coming to take you away. I can never allow that to happen." And he seemed unable to bear his sorrow any longer. When the emperor heard about this, he sent a messenger to the home of the bamboo cutter. When the messenger arrived, the bamboo cutter cried out, "People will come for Princess Kangya from the capital of the moon on the 15th of this month. Please beg the emperor to send a mighty army to capture those people from the capital of the moon when they come." The messenger went back to the emperor and reported to him about the old man's condition and conveyed his request. On the 15th of the month, the emperor sent Lieutenant General Okuni Takano at the head of 2,000 of his best palace guards to the home of the bamboo cutter. 1,000 men took their positions on the ground, and the other 1,000 stationed themselves on the roof, so that together with the members of the bamboo cutter's household, there was no space left open to allow intruders in. And they were all armed with bows and arrows. And inside the house, the women stood guard. The bamboo cutter's wife held Princess Kangya tightly inside a lacquer chamber, and the old man shut the door of the chamber and locked it tightly. Then the old man said, "With such complete security as we have provided, I am certain we will not lose the battle to anyone from the heavens." And he gave orders to the men on the roof, saying, "If you see anything making the slightest move in the sky, shoot it dead immediately." When Princess Kangya heard this, she said, "You have locked me up and prepared yourselves for war, but you can never win against the people of that world. You cannot shoot them with bows and arrows. And though you lock me inside this chamber, they will open it with ease. And though you have prepared to fight, I am certain that there will be no one brave enough to face the people from the moon when they arrive." The old man answered angrily, "We will use our long fingernails to dig out their eyes and crush them. We will grab them by the hair and throw them down. We will strip them bare and show them to our courtiers to make them feel shame." Thus the night passed, and at midnight, the hour of the rat, a light surrounded the house that was brighter than the sun at noon, and 10 times brighter than the full moon. It was so bright that people could see the pores of their own skin. Then men descended from the sky on clouds and stood in a row 5 feet above the ground. When the people of this world saw this, they felt as though they were possessed by some demon, and they lost all will to do battle. No one had ever seen robes of such beauty as those worn by the people standing in mid-air. One among the celestial people stood in a flying car with an umbrella over his head. He was their king, and he faced the house and said, "Miyatsuko-maru, come out here." Miyatsuko-maru, who had been so full of brave intent before, came out and fell face down on the ground, as though he was completely drunk. The king said to him, "You are a shallow man indeed. Since you had acquired a small amount of virtue due to your advanced age, we sent the princess down for a short time to help you. Now she has been with you for so many years, and you have been blessed with so much gold, that it is as though you have been born again. We sent Princess Kangya to live with such a lowly one as you, due to the bad karma she had built up for herself. But now she has worked out that karma, and you weep and wail because we have come for her. This is not fit. You must bring her out to us this minute. Princess Kangya, how can you expect to abide in such a filthy place any longer?" The door of the chamber where the bamboo cutter had locked up the princess suddenly opened, and all the doors and windows of the house opened too, though there was no one touching them. The bamboo cutter's wife tried to keep Princess Kangya in her arms, but the princess moved away, and the old woman fell weeping to the ground. The bamboo cutter also fell to the ground, weeping in confusion. The princess wailed, "I am being taken away against my will, so please see me off as I ascend into the sky." The bamboo cutter answered, weeping, "But watching you will only increase our sorrow." Then she wrote, "If I had regret leaving you now, I leave behind my robe as a memento for you. Please look at it, and remember me on nights when the moon comes out. When I think of you, the parents I have left behind, I will always want to come down from the heavens to see you again." When she had finished writing, the princess received a box from one of the celestial people, and put her robe and a potion of immortality inside it with the letter for the aged couple. Then one of the celestial people came to Princess Kangya, saying, "You must partake of the medicine in this jar, for as you have eaten unclean things here, it will cleanse your heart of evil." The princess took a little of the proffered medicine on her tongue, and wrapped the rest in her robe to leave behind as a memento. Then another of the celestial people took out another robe and offered to help the princess put it on. Then the princess said, "Wait just a moment. They say that when one dons a robe such as this, one has a change of heart and mind. Before I do that, I have one more thing to say." The celestial person became irritated and urged her to hurry. But the princess responded, "You know nothing of human feelings." Then she wrote a letter to the emperor with quiet respect, saying, "During the time I was with you, I caused you much trouble and pain. I apologize with all my heart for all the unhappiness I brought on you with my stubbornness." Then the celestial person came once more to enclose the princess in the heavenly robe. But remembering her love for the emperor, she stopped long enough once more to give the chief lieutenant general the jar of medicine and the letter to deliver to the emperor. Now the celestial person quickly put the celestial feather robe on the princess, and at that instant she lost all feelings of love for the old bamboo cutter and sorrow at parting, for anyone who dons such a robe loses all human feelings. Then the princess boarded the flying chariot and ascended into the heavens, accompanied by 100 celestial persons.